Hopefully you guys can hear me. Just let me know if the music's a little too loud. So I think I'm just gonna paint for like an hour or so. I'm drawing D8 from 17. I'm just doing some more fashion chibis. Okay, perfect. As long as the music isn't too quiet, because I don't want to bore you guys. Ah, yes, please join me painting. The New Year's has been okay so far. Hopefully it's been well for you guys. Just paint the first thing that comes to mind. If not, like, browse some images. Or draw OCs. Do still life painting. Oh, hey Q. Hey Q. I love Hey Q. No spoilers or anything. I still need to catch up on the manga, but like, I already know what happens. This outfit has too many details. Yes, it's coming out soon. Can't wait. I need that OVA to come out. I need to see more of Nekuma's journey before nationals. So we need to see that snake team or the Ebi. I think is it Ebi? I don't know what it's called. Let's see. I have that's true because the manga's pretty much done, right? But yes, I have seen the track list for their Japanese single album. I'm excited. I want to listen to Smile Flower in Japanese so bad. It's gonna be so heart-wrenching. And I can't wait for the concept for Fallen Flower because I kind of hope it's a softer sounding song for spring. That, or I just hope that the photo book will have the members with flowers because that's my aesthetic. It is. It's such a good anime and manga. Both are so well done. Let's see. That's true. Can't tell if this is dry or not. Oh, this is a bad idea. Flower crowns galore. Noya. I just love seeing the boys with flowers. This is aesthetically nice. Yes, Haikyuu is a manga and it has an anime adaptation. Ah, nice. Minghwa's my bias? He's actually not. Wonu is my bias. Oh, I should do the yellow first. I feel like a lot of people think Minghwa is my bias. I draw him a lot. And at one point, people thought Jonghan was my bias as well. Hello! I feel like I'm gonna get the colors wrong. My bias is Wonu. Sorry if that's confusing. I just draw Minghwa a lot. Because I enjoy his clothing, his fashion. Like, him overall is just, like, generally, like, a wonderful person. But Wonu is my bias. He's like my alt, basically. Betrayed by how much you draw Minghwa. I actually draw Wonu a lot. At least on my Instagram I do. And if you follow me on my Instagram, all I do is spaz a lot about Wonu. I do technically draw Wonu, like quite a bit on here though. Well, it's Mingyu though. Wonu. Wonu's in here. Wonu. I draw Wonu quite a bit. Like, I think I've doodled him more compared to Minghwa. I don't really know the members that well, but Minghwa seems really well mannered from what I've seen. He is. He's very insightful and also very like just open in general. Like he's very accepting of things, as well as his interest in like art and fashion. I think a lot of carrots find like very endearing. But I like all the members, I really do. Ah, it's okay. I appreciate the support regardless. Ah! You must be a Ghibli fan then. When I have money, I swear to God. A Wonu icon? Are you- wait, is your bias also Wonu? I feel attacked. I promise my bias is Wonu. Wonu and Jonghan. I actually have 2 commissions to work on too. I was practicing drawing motorbikes earlier today because my commissioner was like, can you draw my husband on a cat? And I'm like, I can't draw animals that well. And she's like, what about a motorcycle? And I'm like, well, technical drawings for me are much easier. So like, I took the commission. Since I've technically drawn 17 on like motorbikes, motorcycles, and mopeds. So I was like familiar with the form. Let me see if I can show you guys. Because I have a few in my sketchbook. They're not like well done, they're just rough. because I couldn't find the exact model of the guy's motorcycle that had like the front view. Woozy and 저 혹시 원우님께 just bias them all. I'm just glad Jonghan's back. I like spazzed when one of my friends was like, you have to check out the masks that they were wearing, and then to see Jonghan like smiling really widely being carried by Joshua and Dogyam. So cute. And he trolled us. Can't trust Jonghan. Once I do the base color for Minghao's hair, I'll show you guys the brief motorcycle sketches I did. Some are really derpy looking. No, like honestly. No, cats for me is actually really hard for me to draw. If it has structure and like details, I actually find it more fun to draw. But because cats or like animals in general, like even the human body, like it's so much more fluid, I'm not used to breaking down the shapes for it. I should really learn because I really do love cats. I'm just gonna let his hair dry. Ugh. Okay. Derpy motorcycles. I find them derpy. It was just for me to get the gesture of it, I guess. I don't know how well you guys can see this. So let me switch to OBS. I don't know if you guys can see them. It's like very derpy. I'm trying to pose it in a way that a chibi could sit on top, so I have this for the commission. I was like just trying to figure out the motorcycle. But my commissioner okayed it, so we are all good. Okay. Ah, thank you. I really need to learn how to draw like bikes and stuff. Because if I need to draw a bicycle for Masaki's story, because his mode of transportation for Masaki is a bike, so kind of have to do that eventually. You struggle drawing a bicycle? Literally, that's me. I think I like the fact that the motorcycle is like very like hefty, there's a lot more volume than like the intricate lines on just like a Finn bicycle, which I feel like you have to be like way more accurate. You try to draw Masaki? Please show me if you do. I love any art of my children. Let's see, I have $5. Can I get anything? Sorry, I don't think I have anything for $5. I'm thinking of doing a commission sale, maybe closer to Carrot Day. But that's about it. I genuinely love the way you watercolor. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys like my watercolor stuff. I think my biggest struggle is gonna be painting that piece because I'm scared to lose the detail. Let's see. Not even tan, it's like a beige. Wait. The color I hate mixing the most. Thank you. They are good. I mean, I feel it's hard to draw chibi with vehicle since the cuteness feels misplaced with the amount of details, but from the sketch you show looks thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. I'm always worried when I do stuff for commissioners. Or like the commissionee? But luckily the people who do commission me are very kind. Because another thing I worried about was when I do get to this stage of sketching, so like the full thing like this, it gives it good indication to the commissioner to what the commission will potentially look like. But if they ask for changes, I'm always scared to like really erase stuff or like budge stuff on the watercolor paper because I hate messing around with the texture of it. But this week's video will be a sketching video, so because a lot of you guys were actually curious on how I did the sketches for those Minghao drawings, so I recorded a few more so I can show a bit more progress. I like the style you have, is just cool. Thank you. I love this song. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, since it's a little bit more convenient for me to answer with the mic on. way too nervous to buy commissions from artists for some reason. I don't know why, but I recently bought merch from an artist I really like. I feel like either way, you should always just try to communicate with the artists as best as you can, as well as like see what they've done in the past. Because I've had commissions where like I myself bought a commission, but I haven't received the art, and then suddenly they disappeared, which is always a little bit iffy. Which is good if the commissioner, or not the commissioner, the person doing the commission allows you to pay maybe like only half, and then they show you like a whip or any kind of like progress check-in, and then you pay the rest after when it's complete. But like for my sake, the commission was like only 10 USD, so it wasn't like a big loss or anything. It's just a shame that people would disappear with other people's money, which isn't very good. Especially when it's a person like you talk to frequently, and just breaks that trust. Because I think for this year, I'm gonna apply to a convention on the 10th, and then by the 15th I should know from a different convention if I'm gonna be tabling. But I want to make it a thing that the next time I go to conventions, I try to commission people at the artist alley tables, because I love doing commissions from other people, like for other people. And last year when I was doing tabling at AnimeFon, these girls who are also tabling kept commissioning me like the entire time, and like they're so sweet and so kind. Like they're always so like, I guess like giddy and stuff. I don't know. They were commissioning a bunch of people, which made me really happy because they're just supporting a lot of the artists that were tabling for that year, which was really nice. And they're so sweet. And I'm kind of sad that they're from the United States. So it's like, I can't like meet up with them or anything. Or at least not easily. They're super sweet girls. Those types of artists really get on my nerves. Like they're the reason why people don't like, like the only thing like I guess I know it's bad to say, but like the reason I know kind of the reason why she did that, like she was just tight on money, but she still shouldn't have done that. I bought my first commission recently, so I was super excited because my friend's art style is really nice. Looking for that's always a good way too, is if your friends have commissions and stuff, it's a good way to just experience how commissioning works. Even if you maybe like have online friends as well, as long as you can trust them. Looking back at my doodle Masaki. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. As long as you draw Masaki, I'm happy either way. It's okay. Also, how do you make artist friends? I believe, like, when you're on social medias and stuff, just interacting with people. Sometimes the more genuinely when you comment on people's stuff and they keep seeing your name like from time to time, maybe you comment like on every post whenever they post stuff. Maybe sometimes you share it. Obviously share it in the proper way. Like don't just like quote retweet. Don't like take the image and post it, like, you know, appropriately posting it and stuff, you know, or like reblogging, reposting. But you'll find people usually around your skill level, I find, is the easiest way to make friends. Comment on other people's stuff. Usually they'll comment back, and then sometimes you have a conversation. Because if you come off clingy, I guess, or I don't know, a lot of us artists in general don't technically want to be approached in a certain way, because it may come off as in you wanting something from them after like trying to be friends with them. Does that make sense? As long as you come up like genuinely like happy and really like the person's art and you get to know them, then you can easily become friends with them. But I definitely think people around your art level, skill level, and age usually you can become friends with easier. How do you feel about Kappa? To be honest, I feel more reassured. I did watch like a video of coming from, I believe, YouTube, explaining the new rules, I guess, or like the rules that you have to abide by about like kid-friendly content or stuff, or like labeling your stuff as like made for kids or not made for kids. So far, I think as long as Kappa isn't wrongly striking people down from saying like, I make my stuff for a general audience and they can't decide that, you know, oh, kids watch this, it means it's for kids. Like, as long as they don't wrongly find people, then like there's nothing really wrong, to be honest. Because I think most people were afraid of, I guess, especially when the news came out, was like the gigantic like $42,000 fine or whatever. I think that's what scared people the most. But so far, the Kappa thing doesn't seem like it's gonna take like that large of an effect. Because there obviously will be some stuff that people have to be careful of, like, you know, obviously if kids appear in the video, or like you're advertising, I don't know, kid products or something. I don't remember what it was, but like there's stuff that kind of hovers around like that gray line. Because the one thing I didn't like was that if I put chibi into the title or in the tags, this is why I stopped putting chibi in recent titles, is because sometimes I would get recommendation of like kids shows, and I was afraid that, you know, my stuff would appear for, I guess, like kid friendly, and like kids would want to click on my videos more so. I don't know. There's just some stuff that I am probably gonna stay away from still. To make artists fan, you gotta talk to them. Exactly. Just talk to them, and if they, I guess, like retract and retreat, then just leave them alone. It's okay. Because don't come off pushy, stressing that you right off want to be like, you want to be friends. Like, it's better to find people you can share an interest with, like genuinely have an interest with. Don't be the person who just like admires from one end, trying to push their way through to get into a friendship with maybe an artist who has like maybe a larger following, or an artist who is more well known, or an artist who has like an art style that you strive to become or have or whatever, because it puts the artist off. It makes them feel like you're only wanting to be friends with them to gain something, rather than just having like a genuine connection. Did you know 17 will have a Japanese comeback on April 1st? Yes, I do. I saw it last night. Oof, but your girl panics at the DM button. That's okay. Just send that DM, and if you can't, just comment on people's posts. It's fine, as long as you're not spamming and like you're actually saying stuff that's like meaningful. Don't say like, you know, follow for follow, or follow me back, or like, you know, don't do those kinds of stuff. I was scared to talk to Rinty. I answer all my DMs, so as long as you don't come off as a person who wants to mooch off of me, I am fine. How did you learn to draw? I was self-taught. My friend started drawing anime, and she started showing me animes and stuff, and I got hooked in, and me and her just started drawing together, and just kind of straight into this. How long did it take you to develop your current style? I feel like it's not until like maybe recently, like maybe a year or two ago, that this style kind of just like stabilized. I think last October, so like in 2018 is really when I started doing these like watercolor chibis, which are like these ones. But for digital, it's always been like a work in progress, and you can check on my Instagram how I went from my super simple bean chibis and I gradually got more detailed, and then I tried retracting back, and then I don't know, it's just the whole thing. I feel like just don't focus on style, just focus on fundamentals, stuff that you like, stuff that you don't like, and just slowly refine. Like your style comes from you finding stuff that you like and drawing the stuff that you don't. And I don't mean like content wise, I mean like maybe you don't like drawing the bridge of the nose really long, so maybe you want to make it shorter or less prominent. So it's like, you know, personal choices. Fave anime show. Oh, fave anime as of now? I don't know if I have a favorite right now. I like Haikyuu and I like Gintama. I like Demon Slayer as well. I like Dr. Stone. Recently, Chihaya Furu. What else is there? I'm watching FGO with my brother. So I'm really liking that one too. Okay, I really need to start working on this. I've been blabbing for too long. Mononoke? Like Princess Mononoke? I still have to watch that movie. That's like one of the Ghibli movies I haven't watched. But I think I'm gonna wait with my friend, because I think one of them hasn't watched it either. I think the last time we watched the Ghibli film was The Wind Rises, I think. His coat's really neutral. Okay, I have to be very careful with this. One sec, I'm gonna use my other painting as a reference. Okay, I did do harsh lines. Okay. How do you find references? Pinterest. Pinterest, Google Images. I use Pinterest mostly just because you can make boards. You can save posts really easily. A lot of other artists use it, so there's definitely a lot of like useful references, as well as like a lot of people who do like photography, modeling, like all that stuff. But I definitely do recommend using Pinterest. It's just an easy way to collect images for like future use, because I have a mood board I think specifically for, or at least I need to add more to it. I have it for I think this is called references, but it's mostly for Masaki. So I have like pictures of like flower shops, storefronts, bicycles, flowers. I have a bunch of like, I have an inspiration board. I have references for potential 17 concepts. I have ones for poses, one for portraits. I need to get back to doing portraits, to be honest. If not, then try to observe from real life. That's also a good way. Oh, Fire Force. I've heard of that because, who sings the opening? Inferno? By, oh my god, why can't Mrs. Green Apple? I love that band. think it's Fire Force. I could be wrong. Let me scroll back. At the moment, I'm waiting for that toilet demon show. Ah, wait. I'm interested in looking into that one. Because that's based on a folktale, technically, right? Or what's her name? Mary? Is it Mary? I don't know which one it's called. The girl in the red dress. It's probably not Mary. What's her name? I don't remember her name. But that girl who's like, come play with me or whatever, and she's like in the bathroom. She comes out of a toilet or whatever. What colors did you pick to make black? I use... What is this called? I'm using a violet. You can also mix any kind of rose color or cadmium red, as well as any quinacridone rose will work as well. Mix that with ultramarine or like a phthalo blue, and that will give you more of a purple color. And then you can neutralize it with brown, and that will give you more of a muted toned black. And then you can adjust it if you want to make it more blue, more purple, or you can add a little bit of green if you have any green. If you just learn the color wheel, you can find easy ways to neutralize the colors. Because I think you guys are aware I don't use black in my palette. I always mix it. See. How do you get your edges so clean with watercolor? I'm not so good at water control yet. Basically, if you're using like a smaller brush, even like if you have a fat brush like this one with a small tip, as long as it has like almost, how to explain it, 40 to 60%, so 40% pigment, 60% water, even 30% pigment, 60% water, you can get pretty good control and like decent coverage and flow. I think it's a good idea just to make shapes in maybe your sketchbook or anything like that, and just test out how much water you need to get your clean edges and stuff, or like even like flat washes and stuff. Because I believe that's also the trick if you want to learn how to do line work with the brush, because you need to know about water control as well as using the brush very delicately when doing line work. Also, make sure you're using the right paper, because if not, then your lines are gonna bleed and feather from places that you don't want it to be. Is that Hanako? Hanako-chan? Is that the one with the toilet, spirit or whatever? Miss Green Apple sings the opening? Yes. Yes, I always love Mrs. Green Apple's songs in general. They're one of my favorite Japanese bands. Yeah. Pilling from the paper usually comes from you either like scrubbing out the paper. You want to be careful of the water not doming. If you let it dome and it dries, you will have like a outer ring on the outside as well. So if that's not something you want, then make sure you're not like pooling the paint into one area. Tanaka-kun is always listless. Ah, I think I know which one that one is. This camera's gray. Is it black? Oh, I didn't do his little hair piece right there. If I remember correctly, use acrylic for highlights. Why not use white Posca? Just wondering since I use a Posca for my highlights. I actually use white gouache. I find it a little bit more easier to work with my watercolors because it's water soluble. I don't really want to use anything that's like absolutely permanent because I can easily like, scrub it out or dilute it to be like translucent. And it's easier for me to control it with a brush rather than using something like a pen, because I can control the thickness a little bit easier that way. But thanks for recommending that though. Is there any other K-pop groups you like that's not 17? I actually like a lot. Because I got into K-pop in 2011. So I like a lot of the somewhat older groups. As well as like a few of the newer groups. But not like a whole lot of the other newer groups. Because I just don't have the time to dedicate myself to get to know them. But I like actually quite a bit of other groups. I probably won't name them because a lot of the ones even from like 2016 and before I'm most likely a fan of. Oops, I wasn't supposed to be doing his hair. I was supposed to be doing his skin. What do you think Falling Flowers will sound like? I hope, like, I'm low-key hoping it's more of a soft song. Like, maybe not ballad because it might turn people away, but that or just like an upbeat soft song. I think it'll fit the springtime quite nicely. And even though it's coming out on April 1st, because it's a Japanese release, most likely we're gonna get like the music video or the song released prior. So I'm assuming it's gonna be a spring song, regardless. Electronic music's quite trendy at the moment, though. Actually, it probably won't be a ballad, though. Definitely won't be. Because I'm pretty much sure, like, they're not gonna pick any song that will overlap with... I put my hand in the corner of his mouth. Oh. Love J-pop and J-rock. I don't think I listened to that much of Visual K. Oh, what's that one band? There was one band that I used to listen that was more like of a Visual K band. I like Mrs. Green Apple. I like Official. Is it Disim? D-S-I-M. I like them as well. I like Spire. I like... Oh, what are they called? One Rock OK. Is that what they're called? I think that's it. And there's another one. There's quite a few. Burnout Syndrome I like. Does. I think... Is that a single? Or is that a band? I don't remember. I like AAA. What else do I like? Oh no. Oh. I feel bad for the boys though. That sucks. For X1. And they were doing well too. Like a lot of the produce groups do well, but that's unfortunate for their disbandment. I'm glad IZ*ONE can most likely continue. So I do like IZ*ONE as well. I wasn't the biggest fan of X1. I just know a lot of the idols that like participated on the survival show. Because I'm an Uptension fan, so like I was really rooting for Wei and Wushin, like a lot. One OK Rock, yeah. Malice Miser? I don't think I have. Bara no Seido is a really nice album. I'll see if I can look up some of these later. I've been mostly listening to like somewhat more older songs, I guess. Oh, Back Number. Back Number. I love Back Number. Back Number is probably like my style of song that I like listening to. I love Back Number. Bump of Chicken is another one I really love. Obviously, I love Yonezu. What else is there? I have like a whole Japanese playlist. I gotta stop doing that. That's true. When you're younger, you usually have like a lot more energy for like, I guess like if you're more into anime and stuff, like those kinds of J-rock and stuff, or even K-pop, yeah. I didn't get into K-pop, I think, until I was 14. Forgetting to do the shadow. Fight June? I was screaming about June like when the mask, like the masquerade-esque like costumes. His face is so tiny, but like he looks so like almost like ethereal with the mask on, and like Vernon looks so much like royalty. I think my first K-pop song was Haru Haru by Big Bang. That or Shiny's Ring Ding Dong. Probably one of those two songs. Yes, Junghan is back. I literally screamed when I saw him. And he trolled us so hard. Jesus Christ. Oh, volume up by 4 minutes. That's a good one. I think it's a good idea for glass. You definitely need to make sure to isolate where your highlights are, because highlights and the darkest part of where the glass is very important. But also I think it's fun to add just colors. I don't think I've really done glass with watercolors, but I've done it digitally painting it, and I've always had fun isolating the highlights from like the harsh-ish shapes that really create like depth for like glass and stuff. You just have to really look at the light and shadows like very accurately, because that's pretty much what's gonna define the like the shape as well as the material of it. Ah, yours was Dope by BTS. I'm going to be watching them on TV too. Was such a lie, but I hope exactly. And then he comes back and was like, no, I meant watching a rerun of a broadcast. That trickster. He really trolled us. But like, the thing is like, there's a moment from 17. So if you guys know their debut showcase when, what was it? They're singing 20 on the showcase, and Dogyam's wearing like this cute, big purple sweater, and he just smiles so big. That smile, like the first time I saw the showcase, that is like ingrained into my brain. But then when I saw Jonghan smiling when he was being carried from, being carried by Josh and DK, and he came out and he's just smiling really big, and he has like that dorky, like sinister smile kind of thing. I don't know, that's also ingrained into my brain now. I don't know. He's adorable. What was I doing? Was I doing the hair? Jonghan dork. I call them dorks a lot. There's like one gif of Wonu that I keep on my iPod. So let me see if I can find it. I have really dumb videos on my iPod that I keep. But I'd like delete some because I'm running out of memory. Let me see where it is. This one. It's so cute. I don't know how well you guys can see it. This way? He's so cute. What else do I have on here? Ah, Jonghan. This one's cute too. The one of Jonghan. He just turns around and he smiles. Look at this dork. Okay, that's enough of me spazzing. looks like someone's home, so I'm gonna have to end the live stream here, but thank you guys very much for... What? With the music, it sounds like you're talking about your lost lover. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here, but thank you guys very much for coming. Sadly, we couldn't finish this, but yeah, thank you very much for watching. Bye!